But if we can't have them, we've got to learn to live without them. Oh, come on. We'll survive. Hmm?
It's going to take a little longer. Without our cooperation, it might be 2 years.
And will you still love me when I'm old and as grey as you are?
How can you laugh at everything?
Practice.
Hands up all building societies that give a good rate of interest. Now hands down if you don't get the chance to get a checkbook. And hands down if you don't get a discount card. The Leicester card. If you want more than interest from your building society, go to the Leicester tomorrow.
Peel Off Ronstrip removes 10 coats of paint in one go. Peel Off Ronstrip from DIY stores everywhere.
Have you tried New Gold Blend? We believe you'll prefer its taste to your own ground coffee because New Gold Blend is perfectly perked. Perfectly perked to give that fresh coffee taste every cup. Try the perfectly perked taste of New Gold Blend.
Two cats are very loving and very enjoyable to have. Both my cats prefer Whiskas to anything. No one has produced as good a food for cats as Whiskas. That is, in my opinion, a solid food that you can chop up. I discovered very soon that it wasn't economical buying the cheaper brands because they wouldn't eat them. They just like it in nice big chunks so they can have a good chew. They're not fussy eaters as long as you give them the right thing, and the right thing being Whiskas.
Whiskas Super Meat, in tests, 8 out of 10 owners who expressed a preference said their cats preferred it.
If your teeth hurt when you bite into something icy, or take a hot drink, try new fresh flavor Sensodyne toothpaste. Sensodyne is the only toothpaste that contains SCH. With regular daily use, this protective ingredient progressively acts on the sensitive areas of your teeth to relieve the pain. And brushing with Sensodyne really cleans and polishes your teeth. Try new fresh flavor Sensodyne. Toothpaste for sensitive teeth.
If you're out to get the best in burgers, we got everything under the bun. Wimpy is the home of the hamburger with the greatest burgers under the bun.
There's countryside goodness in Wimpy's new wheatmeal bun. Browned to perfection, it tops the delicious quarter pounder.
Wimpy is the home of the hamburger with the greatest burgers under the bun. We've got the greatest burgers under the bun.
Get your figures straight. Butter, 80% fat. All margarines, 80% fat. Even polyunsaturated margarines, 80% fat. St. Ivel Gold, 40% fat. Eat the one with half the fat. Gold from St. Ivel.
This is your life, this the Savoy Hotel, London, and that piano there is not all that it seems to be. For a start, with it, and with words specially written by Richard Stilgoe, he and those famous people are going to spring a funny surprise welcome on a great friend of theirs. Now, he's a man who was a school teacher, turned writer, turned broadcaster, actor, and television personality, and he has said of his life that he's always wanted to be where the laughter was and have friends who made him laugh. So I think it's a fair bet that you'll still be friends after all this. Now, he knows you're here. He doesn't know the piano is here, the music, or me, and part one of the plot is that I disappear, right? The rest is up to you now. He's here on his way.
Arthur Marshall, we've a visitor for you. You've got to guess if he's a bluff or true. It could be a schoolboy from days gone by. No, that's a bluff. Have another try. Is it Frank, you're the one who takes snuff? No, sorry, Arthur, that's another bluff. So who is it arriving out of the blue? Yes, Eamon Andrews, not a bluff, but true.
And it's true, your friends are not bluffing, Arthur. They're just helping me to say, Arthur Marshall, tonight, this is indeed your life.
You came out to the piano. You must be out of your mind.
What a square.
Oh, look. Oh, how marvelous. Oh, how sweet of you. Oh, Lord.
And my thanks for that singing surprise to Patricia Hodge, Maureen Lipman, Sheila Stiefel, Claire Francis, Melvin Bragg, and Richard Stilgo. And right away, let's meet your arch rival and competing captain on Call My Bluff. Though he always tries to play you false, he really is your true friend, Frank Muir.
This is your lovely day. This is
Oh,
the
shut up.
Sit down, you can sit down.
Frank, Arthur,
do get him to cheer up, Eamon.
Yes, it's awful, isn't it? Yes.
I think the story about Arthur, let's summarise and epitomises him, really. Do you remember the first programme that you were on in Call My Bluff as captain? And you remember what happened? Do you remember the score?
8-0.
Arthur lost 8-0, and at the end of the programme, he was laughing so much he couldn't say goodnight. That's Arthur.
Thank you, Frank Muir. Arthur Marshall, this is your life, and you were born on May 10th, 1910 at 55 Castle No Barns, London. And here you are, just a few months old, with your late mother in the garden of the family home, and as a toddler of 3 with your late father, who was a consultant engineer. And Arthur, it was only 2 years later that your lifelong fascination with all things theatrical began. Shortly after Christmas 1915, when your mother took you and a friend to see Peter Pan at the King's Theatre, Hammersmith.
And Arthur, even at the age of 5, you nearly brought the house down, trying to save Tinkerbell.
Yes, the school and family friend who went with you to that theatre 67 years ago. You've been close friends of her and her family ever since. Babette Casserly, and with her daughters Susan, and Susan's children, Henry and Louisa.
Oh, my dear.
Babette, it sounds as though young Arthur here really got involved in the play.
Yes, he certainly did. He was mesmerised, you know. And you know, when Tinkerbell was dying, Peter Pan shouted to the audience, to all the children, to shout that it
Yes, my dear, I clapped my hands.
Yeah, I know, you absolutely roared the house down. We think that was the moment your career on stage started.
Well, Arthur, schooling for you and Babette starts at Frobel Kindergarten, Hammersmith, then at Miss Wright's School, Barnes, where one of the things you vividly remember were pupils reciting poetry at First World War concerts in aid of the troops. Now, about which you've written, a small girl, Mary White, and I, both aged 7, were much in demand.
We recited, where are you going to, all you big steamers? Mary put the questions, I supplied the answers.
But isn't it amazing that you've never met since those First World War days?
No, indeed.
But Arthur, don't you think it's about time we did meet again?
64 years later, she's here, Mary White. Now, Mary, he's told us about the poem. Let's hear the poetic question that you put to Arthur and see how good his memory is.
Do you
Go
remember?
on, dear.
Where are you going to, all you big steamers, with England's own coal up and down the salt seas? Now it's your turn.
We are going to fetch you your bread and your butter, your beef, pork and mutton, eggs, apples and cheese.
Well done, both of you. Thank you, Mary White. Arthur, you go on to Arundel Public School, where you play in the school rugby team and also appear in many school plays, then to Cambridge, where you join the University Dramatic Club, and after Cambridge, you return to Arundel as a teacher and also appear in and produce shows there. And Arthur, we're taking you back again to that distinguished public school to hear about one of those reviews from your friend and fellow teacher, now retired, Frank Spragg.
Hello, Arthur. Of course, you'll remember two old friends and masters on the staff, John Matthews and John Sharman, whom you used to dragoon into those Christmas shows here in the Great Hall. And one Christmas, about 30 years ago, you persuaded us onto the stage, and the next minute, we looked like this.
And there was worse still to come, because looking daft as we are here, you made us sing in front of the whole school.
And we were crazy enough to sing that song you'd chosen for us. We haven't forgotten it, and I don't suppose you have either.
Nymphs and shepherds, come away, nymphs and shepherds, come away, come away.
Well, those singing nymphs and shepherds have come away from Arundel to be here in person. Frank Spragg, John Sharman, and John Matthews.
See you later.
Arthur, in 1934, you leave teaching for a spell to try your luck in radio, first in Charlot's Hour, and then 2 years later, in 1936, writing and starring in a radio comedy with music set in a college, The Giddiest Girl in the Call.
Remember, Arthur, you played the headmistress, and I played the giddy girl.
She's due on stage at the Haymarket Theatre in half an hour from now as Nurse Guinness in Shaw's Heartbreak House, celebrated actress for nearly 50 years, Doris Hare.
How do you like this? Oxfam. You never expected to see me like this.
I didn't, dear.
Oh, it was so wonderful.
Sounds like very giddy days working
It
with
was
Arthur.
wonderful because he used to come, he was very good looking in those days. Well, he's not bad now. And he would be standing there with a script like this. We'd be chatting and he would say something, and I had such respect for you, I had such knowledge, you see. And suddenly he would say, I must go now. There he would, straight in front of the microphone, and he suddenly became this headmistress. We never stopped laughing.
Oh, we had a lovely time.
Oh, let's do it again.
Thank you, Doris Hare.
Yes, you are.
Well, now, Arthur, the schoolmaster from Arundel, also had the opportunity in those pre-war days of appearing with one of the most colourful and unpredictable characters of the British theatre, talking to you from her home in New York, where she's lived for the past 30 years, the irrepressible Hermione Gingold.
Of course, I'm Hermione Gingold. My voice is dreadful and I apologise. Hello to you, Eamon Andrews. I miss you very much. But even more, I miss and think of Arthur Marshall.
Oh.
I remember those shows we did together. We played two deliriously naughty old ladies. And you were wonderful, my darling. And I wish you were here in New York with me. We could do a show together. And this is your life, and I have to say goodbye now. Goodbye, darling Arthur.
Thank you, Hermione Gingold in New York. Arthur, at the outbreak of the Second World War, you joined the army and, attached to the intelligence corps, are sent to France. But soon afterwards begins the retreat to Dunkirk. And one day, leading your unit through a copse, you hear a suspicious rustling. Whip out your revolver and fire into the bushes. Fearful enemy soldiers are waiting in ambush.
And with your marksmanship, Arthur, we were damned lucky they weren't.
He was your sergeant major at the time of Dunkirk 43 years ago, awarded the MBE, later promoted Major Tom Keane. Tom, so there was nothing very menacing in those bushes then?
No, Arthur wasn't to know that when he emptied his revolver at the bushes. But after the silence, a cow trotted out. And he hadn't hit it with his bullets, not once.
Thank you, Tom Keane. Now, Arthur, back in England, still in the army, of course, and stationed at Whitehaven, you're teaching someone to drive. All is going well until he tries to overtake a farm trailer on a narrow road.
But suddenly, there was a car heading towards us.
Your Batman and driving pupil that day you haven't met for 40 years, from his home in Consett, County Durham, Joseph Bennett.
Oh,
What went wrong with Arthur's driving lesson?
Well, Arthur and I had to go to Lancaster to pick a car up, sir. And on the way back, I was driving. I got behind a car that was towing a small trailer loaded with fruit and veg. I pulled out to pass it, and immediately I noticed a car coming in the opposite direction. Now, Arthur thought, we're not going to make this. So he got a hold of the wheel and pulled it like that, and my left-hand wheel touched the trailer. Bob's your uncle, upside down went all the trailer. Free fruit and veg for everybody, just like a miniature Covent Garden.
Thank you, Joseph Bennett. Well, now, Arthur, you had another unexpected meeting, this time in Twickenham, during a buzz bomb raid over London when you took emergency cover. Can you remember that?
Oh, it was at the headquarters of SHAEF, and our commander was Eisenhower. Is that the incident? And we were all told to go into the air raid shelters. The siren went, and down I scuttled into the nearest thing, and I saw a dim figure sitting there, and eventually saw that it was Eisenhower. And we sat there, nobody else came, sat there in total silence for 5 minutes. And then he just said, well, as long as I keep sitting here, they can't ask me to sign anything.
Well, for your services in the war, Arthur, you're awarded the MBE, and as hostilities reach their end, you start to write and perform in the radio series, A Date with Nurse Dugdale, which runs for 3 years.
Here's an exercise. Hop a pole, dumb a bell, slop a pail, gum a boot, etc. Go on, dear.
Hop a pole, dumb a bell, slap a peel, gum a boot.
Parky, dear, your vowels.
My what, dear?
Your vowels, dear.
Playing Parky to your Nurse Dugdale, that great radio star, Marjorie Westbury.
brilliant performer there ever was on the radio. Yes, you are, dear.
You all the girls.
Thank you, Marjorie. Now, Arthur, it was during the war in 1941 that your father died and your late mother went to live in the Devon village of Cristo, which has since been your home and where you've written your books and your Sunday Telegraph column and until recently your New Statesman one. It's a picturesque spot. There's the 13th century church, that's your own house, and there, Goose Cottage, home of your late mother's best friend, somebody who has known you since the day you were born. Your own lifelong friend, Ruth Toller.
Hello, Arthur. This is a lovely surprise. You'll know this room well because we've spent so many happy times here. There are a few of your many friends in Cristo who are longing to see you. Mr. and Mrs. Bale from the post office, our grocer Doris Edwards, Mr. Smale, who runs us about in his taxi, and his wife Mary, Susan Wills, who's been your daily help for 20 years, and George Archer, the guiding light of the agricultural show, who talked you into being president, and his wife Hilda, and his two sons, Sam and Tom. Well, this is farewell, Arthur, and we all send you our best love from the village that you love. Have a lovely evening and enjoy yourself.
Well, now, Arthur, as you know, Ruth is now 91 years of age, and recently her eyesight has been deteriorating, but the rest of those village friends are here tonight. Norman and Irene Bale, Doris Edwards, Cyril and Mary Smale, George, Hilda, Sam, and Tom Archer, Susie Wills, and Peter Kellan.
But they must all go back to Cristo at once. The village will collapse without them.
One day, Arthur, in 1976, you returned to that Devon home of yours from a holiday in Italy to find a stranger wandering around your orchard.
And I was there, Arthur, because you hadn't shut that door.
Of course, he's here now, your good friend, Larry Grayson. How did you come to be wandering around Arthur's orchard?
Well, I was looking for Rudolph Valentino, really. And I looked over the hedge, you see, and I opened the door, and this voice said, "Can I help you?" And then I said, "Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Marshall." He said, "Come in at once. I'll put the kettle on. We'll have a gypsy cream." And I went in, and we were there for about half an hour, and we've been friends ever since.
You have indeed.
Yes, we really.
The first time you met him. You became great pals, in fact, which led 3 years later to a charming moment on your television show, Larry Grayson's Generation Game, when your pet poodle made an appearance on the show.
There's been a lot written about Arthur. Look at the front, sweetheart. A lot write about it, and children write to me and send him presents and things, and they all say, "When are we going to see Arthur Marshall on television?" Well, here he is, and he's 3 years old, and he's been a very good boy, and he's very quiet. And
why do you call him Arthur Marshall?
Well, I call him Arthur Marshall because one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life was a gentleman called Arthur Marshall, and he writes books, and he writes in the New Statesman every week. I like to think he's one of my best friends.
Thank you, Larry Grayson.
Thank you.
Arthur, everyone knows one thing certain about you, and that's you're a dedicated follower of those cliffhanging television serials. And we're going to take you on a trip now to hear from someone for whom you've long expressed admiration. The address is number 13 Coronation Street, the home, of course, of Hilda Ogden, actress Jean Alexander.
Oh, look.
Hello, Em. Hey, what a lovely chap you've got on there tonight, eh?
Oh.
Arthur Marshall. Hello, Arthur. Do you know, it is nice to be able to talk to you from here in Coronation Street. You know, there's a word that you might come across on Call My Bluff one day. It's a northern dialect word, smittled. Now that means to be pleased, delighted, flattered. And believe me, I was smittled when I heard that you'd said on an interview on television that Coronation Street was one of your favourite programmes. And also that Hilda Ogden was one of your favourite characters. So I'm fair smittled to be able to say thank you for those kind words.
Oh, how kind.
Right, Arthur. I hope this will be a very great night for you. I'm sure it will. And this is Jean Alexander saying thank you for being such a gracious man.
And this is Hilda Ogden saying, stay as sweet as you are. Don't let it
Thank you, Hilda Ogden and Jean Alexander. Larry, Arthur is a great lover of another popular television series, isn't he?
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Crossroads. He said, I love to suffer with them. And, of course, he always adored Noel Gordon.
Yes, and she's still basking in rave reviews, of course, for her show-stopping performance in Call Me Madam. Almost about to step on stage again at the Victoria Palace. Here, first, for you, Arthur, Noel Gordon. Noel, in fact, this is the first time you two are meeting,
Don't
right?
disturb us.
I think this could be the start of something big, you know, Eamon. No, we've never met, but I've always been such an admirer of your wonderful radio shows and Nurse Dugdale and all your articles and books. And, of course, most of all, I've had lovely messages from you, from Larry, every time we've met. Yes. And I've been longing to meet you. And I know how much you would have liked to have booked into the Crossroads Motel. What you don't know is how much I would have loved to have signed you in there, Arthur. Have a wonderful evening.
And I'm so delighted with your marvellous success in Call Me Madam.
Ah, bless you. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Victoria Palace.
Thank you, Noel Gordon. And Arthur, I know you'll be delighted to hear that a certain lady who's known you all your life has changed her mind, and from Devon, at the age of 91, she's here, Ruth Toller. Now, Ruth. Among the greatest loves of your life, Arthur, have been the theatre and the cinema, and especially the heyday of those magical Hollywood musicals like this unforgettable all-time great.
Oh, natural that you wanna go to war. That's just the best band what am. Oh, my honey lamb, come on along, come on along. Let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on and hear, Alexander's ragtime band.
Now, I know, Arthur, you've been joining in that applause all your life. And for you, Arthur, she's here, Hollywood legend Alice Faye. Arthur Marshall, this is your life.
And Eamon returns with This Is Your Life next Wednesday at the later time of 8 o'clock.